Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan Crow, Director of Community at NinjaOne. I have with me Kelvin. I'm going to try it again, Kelvin.
No,
Tegelaar.
just okay.
Tegelaar.
Thank you, because I'm no longer going to be all. Oh, you can pronounce it anyway. I'm going to thank you. Also, that intro was swanky. That was cool.
I'm so excited to have you here, Kelvin. First, you're an amazing human being, and you're always fun to do these things with. But also, man, everything that you guys are doing over at CyberDrain has been a blast to see. I feel super proud that you gave us NinjaOne the opportunity to sponsor and everything, and we've been sponsoring for a while. And so, of course, you've got SIP, but what we're really going to focus on today is the new tool, the new hotness that you just dropped last Friday, Check. And before we get into it, welcome everybody in the chat. It's so good to see all the names, all the faces. Ashley, hey Ash, good to see you. Kelvin, for those of in the audience, the rare few who don't really know what you guys are all about and what you're doing, do you want to give a little bit of background about yourself and CyberDrain and SIP?
Sure, absolutely. If you don't know who I am, then you're not in the MSP space. This is, of course, such a awful joke. It's my ego is so big.
Humble.
I am the creator of CyberDrain.com, which used to be a tech blog for MSPs, specifically oriented at teaching people how to use PowerShell and automation, all that kind of stuff. And in pretty much every single RMM product that we have in the industry, my scripts are being used to help people automate things. That eventually evolved into creating a tool called SIP, CIPP. Which led to a enormous influx of users of the tool. It's a M365 multi-tenant management tool. We have almost 10,000 MSPs using it today. We're somewhere at 9,600 something. So yeah.
So let's get to 10K by the
yeah,
end of the stream. Let's do
exactly, exactly. And of course, we are the creators of Check, a new browser plugin that we're going to talk about today. I noticed I didn't say anything about me. So yeah, I'm Kelvin. I am a Microsoft MVP 6 times now, and very active in the MSP community. In MSP Geek, MSPs are us. One of the admins of /RMSP, the CyberDrain community. So yeah, very very involved in our day-to-day lives.
Absolutely. Kelvin, we've had the pleasure to be on webinars, many webinars together, now in-person events again and everything too. Kelvin's just such a great contributor to the space. And so is his team, who I see is here too. We got Ash and we got John Dupree. And I wanted to, I whipped up a little something. You guys made a big splash with your announcement on Friday about Check. It got picked up on CRN and everything. That was really cool to see. It was posted on Reddit and got a ton of interaction and everything there. People obviously really super excited about it. Lo and behold, you identify like a very specific pain point or challenge, and then you provide like a solution for it. People tend to like that stuff. It's kind of
Yeah,
amazing.
it's weird, right?
It's super weird, but you guys have cracked the code and you're doing it well. But I did notice that I think you missed a couple of opportunities for your release, and I mean, I went ahead and created some things for you.
I love it. I love it. I love it so much.
So everyone, you're already doing your thing. You know what to do. Get in the chat. Get your questions ready. But Kelvin, as that musical interlude just suggested, we're here to let you tell us what's it all about.
Okay, awesome. You know what? I'm going to start sharing my screen because it's much more fun to look at a screen than to just hear someone talk, right? I mean, we're all nerds here. It's just going to be the most fun.
Let's
So
get into it.
let me share this screen, and you guys should be able to see my beautiful, beautiful Chrome now on docs.check.tech. So Check, on the About page, we have a small explanation of what Check is, and it's simply a browser extension that protects you from adversary in the middle attacks. It's a way that we detect if someone is trying to phish your credentials, and the cool thing about this is that it's a rule-based engine. It's not the regular blacklist, allow list, and block list that you are used to seeing. We don't collect all the websites and put them in a list and then send it to the plugin. It's actually just checking the actual contents of the website and is it Microsoft.com or not? And based on that, blocking or allowing you or warning you. So let me jump into some of the settings and then actually show you guys it in action. So I will have to share my full screen, I think. Wait 1 second. I'm not sure if you guys are able to view this specific page. Are people seeing the check page right now? The settings page? No, right?
No, we're seeing the about. What is check?
Yeah, hold on 1 second, because that's always a restream thing. I'll have to share a window.
Yeah, and while you're doing that too, oh wait, I'll add that right here. Here we go. Kelvin, talk a little bit about like I mean, everyone's obviously interested in diving into the details and everything, and learning how they can deploy and all that. But can we back up a little bit and you can talk about why this challenge? You know,
One,
you guys, you're a small
yes,
team. You've got like limited amounts of time, and you thought this was worth spending resources and time and energy on.
this is one of the most prolific things in cybersecurity for MSPs right now. And that's not just because it's big news every time that someone gets hacked in this way. It's also every single MSP suffers from this. It's a couple of hours that you lose in a day when someone gets hacked using an adversary in the middle attack, using a phishing attack, all of these kind of things. It's kind of sad to say that no one jumped into this yet, because this is one of the easiest things to start blocking. Yes, it is and will always be a cat and mouse game between security researchers and security experts. It will always be a cat and mouse game, but it will not prevent us from doing our best to try to win this. It's always trying to get ahead, and by making this a community resource and free and open source, we actually do the same thing that attackers are doing, because all of the phishing kits that attackers are using, all of the methods that they are using to phish your credentials, is open source. They're all working together to get better at phishing you. So now we're finally working together to get better at blocking those attacks. um, I have a lot of strong opinions about in our industry what should be a paid feature and what shouldn't be a paid feature.
Mm.
You should absolutely pay for service and support, but you should never pay for the basic protections. Those things should be free for everyone, and that's also the reason we made check free. We made a very early version of this by using a CSS detection inside of CyberDrain, inside of SIP. And when we utilized SIP to do that, we noticed that attackers started evolving and removing those protections. And one of our devs, John, actually went like, you know what? Why don't we make a Chrome plugin instead? Because they can't block that. They can't block the plugin. So that was the reason that we started developing this. And we actually made it during our hackathon when we had the entire team in the Netherlands. We were all sitting in a room. There's a lot of pictures from it. We asked some security guys like, hey, could you send us your worst phishing pages, the best one you've ever seen? And then we were like, okay, let's try this one. Let's try this one. Let's try this one, which is, of course, is also a very, very dangerous undertaking on its own. It's like you're clicking bad links, knowing something should happen. So yeah,
Well, yeah, I'm
that's
gonna. I mean, I'll stand in the way of you getting into the goods just for another second, just by calling out. It's amazing that you guys have done this, and I think to me, what I'm hearing, like what I think a key difference is, you identified a problem and you thought of strictly just how do we solve this, versus how do we package this up into something we can sell and support, and has to meet all these other additional criteria,
yeah.
and you just set off to solve a problem. So I think that a very refreshing approach. I'm really excited. I think at the end of this, I'd love to talk a little bit more about open source and really with the influx of AI tooling and all that, like how the door is open for more people to contribute and do really cool things. But
Yeah, absolutely.
without further ado,
Absolutely.
yeah.
All right. So this is the extension settings screen, and we have a couple of options here where you are able to set page blocking, which I'll show in a minute. You're also able to show a valid login page, which is also really cool, and I'll show that in a minute too. But here is where the power of check really lies. We have a config URL that is pointed to our GitHub right now, but everyone can create their own set of rules. So right now, check is mostly focused on making sure we protect you from adversary in the middle attacks on M365. But anyone could take these rules, convert them to a product that they use, and then instead say, okay, you know what? I'm now protecting HubSpot. I'm now protecting Ninja RMM. I'm now protecting whatever I want to do. And that's the power of this rule-based engine. Everyone is able to craft their own rules. One of the things that we really focused on was making sure that this entire product was yours. We made sure that there's a branding page where you can completely change everything about the product, including the logo that's shown in the top bar, including the company name. If you click on the pop-up, you'll see that it currently is called Check. If we brand this, the name will change from Check to Phishing Protection by my MSP name, for example. You can have your own company URL and your own support email address. Let me just enter, let me do support at mymsp.com, save these settings, and bam, it's safe. Cool thing is, in our documentation, if you go to our deployment settings, you can click on RMM deployment, you can click on NinjaOne, and this includes an entire PowerShell script to deploy this plugin, including all of the settings. That means that your entire branding, everything is just deployed in one go. It makes sure that people recognize that you are protecting them, and it's not just some plugin protecting them, which is really awesome for us. So a couple of the things inside of this is also that we have a way to send reporting to SIP if you do use SIP. If you don't use SIP, you can't use this right now, but we'll figure out some way to post this somewhere else. Cool thing about this is that you actually get direct alerts when someone tries logging on to a phishing page. Um, Let me actually try to show you guys a couple of these. By the way, Check is available for Chrome and Edge. You can install it for both browsers. We're working on a Safari plugin and a Firefox plugin, but those require a bit of a different approach. Let's go to a bad page, shall we? Let's go to yourfakedomain.com and then hit enter. And normally speaking, you'd just be able to log in. But as you see right now, we're seeing that we're protected by CyberDrain, and there's a security scan in progress. As you noticed, it took a little while before it popped up with the page. And that was on purpose. That was on purpose because mostly these pages wait for a little while before showing you the credential logon pages. They wait because then your virus scanner gives up and this kind of stuff. But SIP keeps scanning in the background until the page changes and looks enough like the Microsoft logon page and says, no, this is not allowed, you're blocked. Cool thing is that you can now hit the technical details button and see exactly why we believe this is phishing. So as an IT guy, you can see, oh, hey, it's phishing rule 04. So in the library, it's 04. It's urgency tactics. There's custom CSS loaded. It's Microsoft branded, but it's not going to Microsoft. There's a lot of details in here that are also sent to your SIP server if you report. Cool thing is that this isn't just a single thing that only works on some pages. It works on any type of phishing page, whether it is in an iframe, whether it is a page that first puts you through to download a DocuSign, etc., etc. It works on a lot of them. And I'm not saying all of them because 100% protection is never going to be possible. I'm never going to convince you that this is the one-stop solution for everything. But even if you block one or two of these attacks, then you're already winning because it's either a couple of hours job that you don't have to do. It's all of this extensive work that you just have you're able to stop doing. People learn from this as well. They learn, oh wait, I've been protected. I clicked on a bad link. I shouldn't have, and next time they won't because they see it so in their face. But like I said, we also have some other settings in SIP or in check. Sorry, in check. You can go to the settings again, and we have a show valid page badge. So if I go to the login.microsoft page right now, login your domain. Whoa, so sorry about that. Let me go to admin.microsoftonline.com, and I should see a login page. And as you can see, this immediately gets a verified Microsoft domain. So a valid login page also starts being recognized more by users. And when they're logging in somewhere and they're not seeing that it's verified as a valid domain, they can already say, hold on a second, I wasn't blocked, but it's also not verified. What's going on here? And you can teach your users to always say, hey, you should look at the verified checkmark. This checkmark is also going to be brandable in the next version, so your logo will actually be in there. And so those are some of the primary features of check. It should stop most adversary in the middle attacks just dead in their tracks. As you can see, users are also able to see, hey, there's a security scan in progress on pages. So they know that in the background it's scanning, and sometimes it's a false positive. That's absolutely possible. You can go through the detection rules, and you can add a allow card or allow list using either regex or a euro with wildcards. So I can just say, you know what, Google, I trust those guys. Google.com/asterisk. Done. From that moment forward, Google is trusted. So that's an amazing ability that you get to, even without having to edit the rules, but you can use your own allow list, because there's sometimes stuff like a VPN tunnel or a tool that doesn't work directly with SSO but has some weird forwarding. You'll need to add them to an allow list. Again, everything in these screens is completely, you can completely do the setup using our deployment settings from our documentation. So you just go to, let's go to RMM deployment, let's go to NinjaOne, and there you're able to deploy. But imagine that you have a domain environment. We actually have a group policy AMDX file in there too. So if you're a somewhat older, if you have a somewhat older environment, you're still able to deploy it. If you're using Intune, it's a importable file and you're able to deploy it. So that's check in like a couple of seconds.
Definitely appreciate that, Kelvin. All right, so we got some questions, and it's just very cool to see people are obviously very interested in this. They're excited about it, and I watched your release webinar or live stream last Friday too, and saw some of the similar questions. Right. So basically, so far it's, well, how? Okay, we download this. How do we actually roll this out? How do we centralize this management? Can we remotely manage these allow lists, things like that? And so those are the first questions that I know people have, and then there's some other ones we can cover too.
Yeah, absolutely. So all of the settings are remote manageable by using your RMM or using a Intune or group policy object. Every single setting in there can be updated like that. We're working on showing these alerts directly in SIP, but this is still an alpha. This is the alerts in SIP is still in alpha. It's not public yet, but you'll be able to view the alerts there as well and see exactly which user clicked on which link at what time. So you're able to get a bit more information, a centralized reporting location. It is, once deployed, you no longer have to change any of the settings. Because it automatically picks up the rules list that we created, and you can host that rules list yourself. You can put that on any web server that you have available, and then just update it as you go along, updating the rules, changing which sites are detected, which sites aren't detected, and all of these kind of things. So when you find a page that absolutely immediately needs to be blocked, even if it's not an adversary in the middle attack page, it's just something you want blocked, you're able to add this to your list.
Yeah, we see Patrick coming in deployable in a domain environment. It's great news for small and older IT environments.
Yeah, it's absolutely. We wanted to make sure that we wouldn't just cover like, oh, hey, here's an Intune policy and you're done. We made sure there's an Intune policy available, a domain environment policy available, so a GPO. All RMMs that we know of, we've tried to figure out like, hey, how does the setup work? How do we actually do this? We added that to the documentation, so it's actually documented for you too.
Amazing. Yeah, and I shared a link to the documentation that you guys put together. One question that came up in relation to the list management. People obviously taking the community spirit, right? If people are making changes to the rules, um, and is there a way for them to share that info
Yes,
changes people are making?
absolutely. So this is the power of open source, and this is the power of why we release this completely open. We don't want to be the guys just solo maintaining this. We want to make sure that everyone is able to maintain this at any time at all. So if you go to docs.check.tech, on that website is a page on how you can contribute. There's even a documentation on how you can create your own rule set. It's called the advanced rules section. This is how you create rules. This is how you use them for yourself, and you can absolutely contribute to them on GitHub. It's completely open source. If you click on the edit icon on the GitHub documentation or on the GitHub rules file, you're able to insert anything. And of course, we'll check it. Well, it has to go through a PR process, as it's called, so a pull request. And after you create your own detection rules and tell us, oh, we want to implement those, then we will accept them if they fit the. Um, yeah, exactly. Contributions to rules can be done right there.
Awesome. Here we have another question. Hi, Kelvin. Didn't say Kevin. That's a good start. Is it possible to add a second list as an addition to
Um,
the section provided block
it,
list?
it's not possible to have a second list. What I would recommend you doing is create your own GitHub fork, point your list there. And if you've done that, then every time we update, you can pull in our changes to your list. And that way you maintain your own list and you download the list yourself.
Amazing. In terms of other things that are required really to get this started, I mean, you've covered them, but Sean came in, asking about Safari. Safari, Sean, Kelvin mentioned is on the way. They're
Yeah.
working on that. But as of now, let's say you want to go right off of this call and get started. Just walk through the steps, I guess.
Okay. Actually, let's hold on. Let me uninstall it from my browser right now. And we're going to do a fresh install altogether because it's actually one of those things that no one ever shows you how to install an extension because everyone assumes you have the knowledge. That's not always the case. That some people have never worked with extensions.
So we can do
So
that. And while you're pulling that up too, folks it's okay, Sean. Don't worry. No apologies. We're glad you're here. Also, folks in the watching this, what are the things we haven't really gotten to customization too much yet. I know that's another area people are curious about. What are the things that would maybe give you pause? What's going to make this be a hurdle, or things you want to figure out before you start utilizing this in a big way? I would love to see the questions around that too.
So the most basic installation is going to docs.check.tech and hitting one of the buttons, install for Edge or install for Chrome. In this case, I'm on Chrome, so I'll hit install for Chrome. And you immediately see that internally we've enforced the installation by the organization. So it's always in my browser. But if you don't have that set up yet, you have a button here, add to Chrome. Simple as that. That's it. There's some example screenshots and some documentation, including our company documentation. And please, if you've used it and liked it, leave a review. We love reading those kind of things. All I do in my free time is refresh this page and see what's going on. These are the two installation buttons for if you just want a one-off install. And I actually recommend do one-off installs. Start with your own team. Tell them, hey, install this locally. Give it to your family. Give it to your family. Tell them, hey, this is going to protect you a little more. Click on the installation link. That's it. But if you're going to start doing this at scale, you need to know what everything does. So in our documentation, we've made sure that a little bit of the information is all, or of the settings is all documented. The detection rules, how to read the activity logs, and how to brand it. This is an important one for MSPs. Making sure that you want to customize the branding is super important, as it shows a little bit of trust to the users. So make sure that you read through this document, prepare the images, send them over to a designer or all that kind of stuff, and make sure that it looks perfect before you start deploying to your clients. Now, when you start installation, we have the deployment section, Chrome and Edge deployment instructions. And here, there's a small path. Things diverge. If you want to do automated installations for Windows, you hit Windows and you have a couple of options. For the NinjaOne stuff, you click on RMM deployment, click on NinjaOne, and click on the ready-made PowerShell script. That's it. You import the PowerShell script as you're used to. We have the instructions right there, and you deploy it. If you are using any other RMM, or if you're using Intune, go to the domain deployment section and use these instructions. If you have Mac OS X devices, they are a little bit different, and we're currently working on the documentation. If anyone here is a documentation expert for Mac OS, right here you can click edit edit on GitHub. Please help us maintain the documentation too, because it's always a little bit more complex when you don't have the devices available. Anyway, the RMM deployment is the simplest way to deploy it. Every single setting is in the PowerShell script. If you click on the script and click on download from GitHub, you'll get the entire script and you'll see some settings that you have to change. These are the only settings that you actually need to adapt. It's do you want to show the notifications to the users? Do you want to have the valid page badge? Because that is a security consideration you have to make for yourself. Do you want them to get used to having that little block there, or do you just want it to be invisible and block pages if required? It really depends on how you set up your clients. You change these settings and deploy the script, and that's it. I just saw a question coming in. How are notifications sent? Notifications are currently only sent to SIP servers. They're not sent to you or to an IT department or these kind of things, except when a page is blocked. Let's actually set this up for a second. Hold on. Let's go to our settings. Let's go to branding and say support at mymsp.com, because I just uninstalled the plugin. There, it's set up again. And let's go to the phishing page. If we go to the phishing page right now, you'll see it's trying to sign me in. Just a minute. You'll see a contact admin button. This is a button that users can click. When they click this, it opens a mail-to link. You won't see this right now, but when they click this, it opens a mail-to link to be able to send an email to support@mymsp.com with which URL did we click on? Should it be whitelisted? What was the indicators? Why did we think this was phishing? So that a user is able to contact you directly if they think a page should not be blocked.
Very nice.
Stop sharing my screen. There we go.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody will with the. There's been lots of questions about the recording. This is on our YouTube Live, the NinjaOne channel. The recording will be available immediately after this is done. But we'll also go back and update the description with links to the documentation. And you guys have done such a good job of that. I mean, that's refreshing to see that you've clearly thought through and had all the early questions and everything. You've clearly thought through a lot of things and put it all in one place. And so rather than sharing a ton of different links, I mean, really, we're going to be sharing that link to the docs. And
Yeah.
you're going to find a lot of the information that you guys need to get this deployed and answer questions right there.
The one thing that we really wanted to make sure is that this is a tool that you can feel like you can deploy instantly. Like, you have all the documentation available, you have all the resources available, you can read the source code. It's one of those things where the barrier to entry is so extremely low, and it helps so much that we're hoping that everyone just deploys this to as many people as possible.
Awesome. What other questions do folks have? Is there anything that, I mean, we mentioned again the customization and everything. What And shout out to Brian, good job with those docs. What things, if anything, would stand in the way? Obviously, the deployment script. We do have some ideas here. It's all available on the docs page, but maybe we can make that easier for you all within Ninja. Maybe we can build an out of box script or something like that. Anything else that would, I don't know, give you pause, or anything that would hold you back from trying this thing out? Let us know. You got Kelvin held captive here for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And
Feel free
Kelvin,
to ask any question.
yeah, absolutely. Kelvin, what were some of the other questions that came in during your all's live stream? I mean, I did see really, again, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of questions about the detection rules and how this could be updated or evolved or shared. Anything else that jumped out to you?
During our session, we actually had a lot of people that were wondering, like, okay, if we install this, how are we going to maintain it over
Yeah.
time? And that's a worry that everyone has. The cool thing is you don't have to. You don't have to maintain the plugin itself. You just maintain the rules list, and as long as you keep doing that, you're staying ahead of any of the attackers. That there's you have to make sure that you get updated once in a while. That's just standard Chrome updates, but the browser rules, so the detection rules, are actually retrieved from our GitHub every 24 hours. So you don't have to worry about, a user has really old rules. No, it's every 24 hours. It simply gets the latest rules.
Here's a question from NL. How are the admins notified when there are changes or improvements to the scripts and rules?
The easiest way to get notified of that is to start the GitHub repository every time a release is generated, or every time main is updated, as it's called. You get an email saying, like, hey, there has been an update to this and this file, so you're aware of that.
And then, is it auto updated?
Yeah, it's completely auto updated. It downloads it directly from the store. So that's the amazing thing about this. And another question that we had a lot was, how about data? Are we collecting data? Are we using that data for anything? If you go to the Chrome store right now and look for the check extension, scroll all the way down, you see a banner that Chrome has put there, or Google has put them there themselves. It says something like, this vendor doesn't collect any data, or blah, 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 blah. Legalese. And that's true. We don't collect any data. None of the data that you have on websites you visited and all this kind of stuff is collected, because we don't need it. What would we use this data for? Yeah, we could sell it, but what's the use? Like realistically, it would give us what, $100 a month for selling some data. That is absolutely useless. That's not something that we need. That's something we want to worry about. So zero data collection, except if you set up monitoring to your own server, then you are collecting the data, not us.
Here's another one. Great question from Dan. Long-term maintenance. So there's a short-term and what's in place. I mean, we do hear about this, right? Chrome extensions falling out of use and then they're becoming, unsecure, able to be hijacked.
Absolutely. So one of the biggest things that I can promise as the founder of CyberDrain is our team will always maintain whatever product we put out. We have very steady release cycles. We have a good history on releasing software, a really good history on releasing software. And we're going to keep doing this because we enjoy it. We're just a bunch of nerds that are enjoying it. The cool thing about this specific plugin is, because it's open source, everyone can maintain it. It's not it falls out of disarray because no one has access to the code. If you have access to the code, you can update the plugin yourself. You can make sure that it becomes exactly what you want it to be. If for some reason we deprecate it, or we say we can't maintain it anymore, or a meteorite falls onto exactly my house and destroys our keys to upload it, you can upload your own version to the Google Store and it's solved. That's it. You can always fix this yourself.
I hope that meteorite does not come for many, many, many a year, Kelvin.
Yeah, exactly. It would be the coolest way to go out.
That is true. Okay, another range of questions that I saw, maybe folks have here too. How does this fit into what folks are already doing? Other tools. I mean, I saw mentioned obviously different Microsoft things, Huntress. What is this taking the place of, or maybe just augmenting? Obviously this is a very specific,
It
very
completely replaces every single security tool in your entire stack directly. Because
seems
that's somehow people expect to hear that. In a lot of marketing things, you always see like replaces these 10 security tools, fixes these 50 security issues. No, I'm never going to promise that. It's security is layers. Security is many, many layers. This is just another one that we're adding to our arsenal that is community supported and making sure that we as MSPs are keeping each other secure. Because if we do this all together, then we might be able to stop so many adversary in the middle attacks that long term we don't need those other tools to do this specific purpose anymore, because everyone is doing a lot of the same things and everyone's doing a lot of overlap, and keep that overlap in place right now until we completely kill adversary in the middle attacks somewhere down the line together.
um, One more question. I don't think that we covered this. Maybe we did, and apologies if we did. The rules update, is it possible to integrate this with Notion, or is GitHub the best rule path?
Any place where you're able to host that file is good. It doesn't matter if you put it on Notion, your own website. Some people just put it. I know some MSPs put a lot of data just on their website. Hosting the JSON file there, absolutely possible, no problem.
And then we'll call this out to you. Simon,
Oh,
thanks
that's
for,
sweet. Thank you, Simon.
and absolutely agree. Very refreshing, very cool to see you guys doing this. Really awesome that we get to come together and we get to spread the word that it's set up in a way that is truly meant for people to get immediate use, but also continue to build on it and work together. I think it's great. And so, on that note, folks, if you still have questions specifically about Check, let us know. But Kelvin, I thought maybe we could close with a couple of minutes of talking about this initiative. And I think one thing that I'm really optimistic about is with people's ability, with the barrier of entry in terms of creating new tooling, with AI tools and everything. I mean, obviously there's so many caveats that comes with this, but I think we can all agree the barrier of entry is rapidly falling. I'm excited to see a lot of other people being able to do this. Like, hey, I see a specific need, or I have a specific idea. The ability for one person to create something, I mean, I'm just so excited about that potential. And so
Absolutely.
yeah, this is something that you're seeing too, and that obviously you're leading by example.
Um, so one of the most important things is in our business. I have a fantastic business partner, Ashley Cooper. She is amazing with anything related to AI. She is so far into that, and internally, she made us stop saying, "Oh, I'm vibe coding something," because of course we use AI assisted tools. Everyone uses AI assisted tools, but we should consider it AI pair programming. It is not oh, I'm letting a AI build something on its own. It's I'm having a pair programmer next to me that is helping me do chores or tasks that I wasn't ready to do yet. Um, it's really, really fun to see the evolution of everyone slowly becoming a programmer or a developer in some sense. AI is going to cause a hopeful. I'm very hopeful about AI. I believe it's going to cause a bit of a revolution around small but very useful tools being available, specific problem solving tools. And if you're using AI pair programming for that, I'm not going to call it vibe coding, even if you're not a coder yourself, it is pair programming. You are working on something together. You might not be the best developer in the room, especially not compared to AI. I mean, sometimes it even amazes me. Um, but you are a very active part of it. Um, and of course, there's there's negativity around vibe coding a lot. You read articles like, "Oh, this vibe coded stuff was completely vulnerable." That is made with a completely different mindset. Um, I really believe that we're at a forefront of a bit of a revolution where open source is going to get a lot more attention thanks to these AI coding tools, and I'm excited for it.
Well, thanks so much for that. I'm excited as well. I'm gonna follow up that very genuine, thoughtful remark with a shameless, self-promotional one,
Do it.
because that's what I do. And I'm going to call out. You mentioned her, Ashley Cooper is going to be joining us next week, and so I know a lot of the folks here in the chat have been joining us. We've done this webinar series the past couple of Wednesdays around AI, and we've kind of started off at a high level. Had some very some leadership at some very large MSPs talking about their strategy and vision for things, and then this week got a little bit more granular, talking about strategy and fundamentals, setting the foundation to be able to move more quickly. And then we're going to wrap up the series next Wednesday. I dropped a link so you can register. Ashley is going to be joining. So is Tom Lawrence, and they're going to be sharing. Really, here are some use cases that they've developed. Here's some of the tools that they're using, and so we can get into the weeds and really nerd out together.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Kelvin, for doing this. I asked you on your own live stream when you announced this. Okay, cool. Free tool. What's next? We want more. And you answered. Well, maybe we kind of enjoyed this one for a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to take some time off from doing new projects. There's we have enough stuff going on, and we're a tiny team. I mean, there's 8 of us total, and of that, I think only 3 full time. So it takes a lot of effort to make sure that we maintain all of this. So we're taking a little bit of a break until we're releasing cool new stuff.
Well, I think it's well deserved. I think it's also it's so cool, so cool. Really showing the space. This goes with how you launch SIP too. You're tired of waiting for vendors. I mean, this is a tale as old as
Yeah,
as
yeah.
time, right? We're tired of waiting. We're going to do it ourselves. And you've it's been so cool to watch that grow, and you keep on doing it with these other tools as well. Very cool to see.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, great, everybody. Thanks for joining. Check out Check. Read the documentation. Let us know if you have questions. Hop in our Discord. Hop in the CyberDrain Discord. It's amazingly active. It's a great place to be. We'll drop a link to join that as well. Check out SIP if you haven't as well. Really great tools that are helping MSPs accomplish a lot that they otherwise couldn't. And Kelvin, thank you so much for being a champion of the space and taking time.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to be here.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week for the AI webinar with Ashley. And in the meantime,